All right. Jonah Williams' first two games were pretty damn good considering this was the first time that he played football since the 2019 national championship. The Alabama's lost to the Clemson Tigers. Going back to left tackle, position that he succeeded at Alabama. And, right out of the gate, week one, highest paid edge rusher in the NFL. Joey Bosa is the guy that he matched up with a lot, pretty much most of the time in this game. And this was early in the first quarter. This was the first sack of Joe Burrow's career, and a lot of it was because Williams gets beat inside here to Joey Bosa. So let's watch the rep full speed. Here we go. Yeah, so Jerry Tillery gets the sack, but it's Bosa's pressure that forces Burrow to try to escape, and does too much. He should get rid of the ball there, but it's a sack nonetheless, and it's fortunately a red flag on Williams' day today. So why did it happen? Williams, I think there's nothing really wrong with this set in a vacuum. I think it's very efficient. His footwork, his angles, it's all good. He has half-man relationship with Joe Burrow in the pocket on a three-step drop out of shotgun. Here's the things, though. Like, this is Joey Bosa, and even if there's not a lot of space in this gap here, in this B gap, like Bosa is one of the few athletes at the edge rushing position that can it's not even like a swim move because there's not really a lot of hand usage going on here, but he just kind of undercuts Williams on the set and just squeezes his way through there. Like, this is Joey Bosa. This is just what he does. He's just so silky smooth with his rushes. It's just like his brother Nick. Now, I don't have a lot of problem with the Williams set in a vacuum, like I said, but right before the snap, the Chargers kind of shift this 2-eye defensive tackle here to a 3 technique. He shades him over the guard's outside shoulder now. So now Williams, I think, in my mind, he should be more cautious in terms of creating space in this gap because he might have to help out Michael Jordan here up against this now outside shaded 3 technique. So it allows a little bit more space, and I think in the future he should either take a more shallow angle out of his set to try to minimize the space in this gap, especially from the fact that it wasn't necessarily slide protection, so he's not like on an island here. So I think that's something for him to adjust to and something that he also probably took note of when watching this film. But great play by Bosa, more than just a bad rep by Williams. I believe this is the very next play after that sack. So now Williams has Melvin Ingram in a 2-point stance and a wide 9 alignment. And I really like the adjustment that Williams makes here. Immediate adjustment following that allowed sack. So you notice that instead of going to that third kick slide in his pass set, Williams stops his kick slide but keeps his feet moving because you don't want to have stagnant, stale feet at all in any way, in any time during pass protection. But he's just recognizing what Ingram is doing. He's reacting to Ingram's rush. And it doesn't really look like Ingram's going full tilt. It more or less maybe staying in contain. But instead of trying to play to the edge, because more times than not, that's what wide 9 rushers will do. They'll try to scream off the edge because they have a wider angle to get to you. But I like how Williams is just going with what he sees. He's reacting on the fly, and he's making quick adjustments, especially off of a bad rep by him or just an allowed sack. So even if it's not a true pass rushing rep, maybe from Ingram, I still really like the adjustment that Williams makes here. Example of Bosa's greatness more than anything about Williams. He's going up against him again, and Williams does a good job out of his set. Again, there's nothing really wrong with how he enters his sets. But this is what makes Bosa just special, what separates him from most other rushers in the league. Because it looks like he's just charging at Williams, going for a power move, maybe a bull rush. Williams is preparing for it. He's got good pad level. He's got good angles with his knees and his ankles and his hips. Everything's fine. And then he takes a sharp step with his inside foot like he's going to now try to bend around the edge, maybe chop out that outside arm. And Williams reacts to this really quickly, gets that outside arm up to try to prevent that from happening. But instead of Bosa doing that, he then plants his outside foot and charges right into Williams' chest. So it's like a staggered bull rush to the outside. Williams is shocked by this, literally, because he's shocked backwards. But I think he recovers pretty nicely. Not very cleanly, but he anchors pretty good. But unfortunately, this is one of the issues with Williams coming out, is that length was going to get him into trouble when guys are getting into his chest sometimes. And this is kind of what happens against guys like Bosa, where even when Williams is re-anchoring pretty cleanly, Bosa still has that length advantage inside and separates and disengages him again. Burrow recognizes this. Bosa gets the hit on Burrow as he tries to get it to Mixon, and he fumbles it in the process. So this was a very overall decent rep by Williams considering the circumstances, but this just exemplifies a lot of the issues that Williams had coming out of college that weren't really his fault, but how they could get exposed against talented guys like Bosa in this sense. So Williams may not be the biggest left tackle or the longest or anything, but the man plays with technique that can nullify power from basically anybody in the game. Now, why defensive tackle Justin Jones is in a wide edge alignment, rushing off the edge, I have no idea. But Jones has one option in this rep, and that's to try to run through Williams. And I think Williams just put on the perfect teaching tape on how to handle a bull rush from a vertical passing set. Completely stuffs him. And I know, like, Bobby Hart gets beat by Joey Bosa around the edge. Burrow goes down. Williams is on the ground as Burrow gets sacked. So from the broadcast and when you're watching it during this game, it looks like, oh, what happened with Williams? But, I mean, Williams did nothing wrong here. In fact, he did everything right. Absolute perfect footwork. Quick, but not rushed. That's so important because Bobby Hart's feet are quick, they're rushed, which is what makes them quick. Williams' natural silky smoothness in his sets are just absolutely perfect, right? And the entire time, he's that half-man relationship. He always has his butt facing Burrow, meaning he doesn't give up any angle inside or outside for the rusher to expose him with. So Jones has only one option. He's trying to go through him, and look at the leverage. Look at the pad level from Williams. Absolutely perfect to anchor against that bull rush. A good tackle from the right, a good block from the right tackle, and from the right guard and center. Burrow probably has a clean pocket here to try to make a throw, but Williams did absolutely nothing wrong here.